None of your thoughts are yours. None of your thoughts are really yours, please see. Thought is something that you generate from implanted information, all kinds of things hitting you. The way you think right now depends on what kind of family you were born in, what kind of parents you had, what kind of education, what kind of society, what kind of social backgrounds, religious backgrounds, and all these things deciding how you think. Yes or no? For sure, isn't it? So how can you say it is your thought? All kinds of people are working. Can somebody plant a thought? Definitely. Definitely yes. If you're talking about someone consciously wanting to plant a thought in you, is that possible? Very much possible. But you shouldn't get into this mode, because every time you do something wrong, you will think, somebody planted this in my… Even if you let somebody plant it in your head, it is still your doing, isn't it? Yes? You let somebody plant a thought in you, that is also your doing, isn't it? Oh, somebody planted a thought in my head, what can I do? People are going about this. This has become a fashion everywhere. This is an Indian thing. When Indians got very affluent many generations ago, and they got naturally lazy, they came to this, God willing. Anything you ask them, they'll say, God willing. God willing, I will get up. Who knows when goddamn God is willing? If I do it, God was willing. If I don't do it, He's not willing. This is a horrible trick. But it goes on in the world. Everything that matters to them, anyway they will do. If you ask something, they'll say, God willing. Yes? Will they say, if God willing, I will have my dinner? No, they will eat. If you say, can I have dinner? They'll say, God willing. So, can we plant a thought? Definitely we can. In fact, we can plant a whole philosophy into you if you want, by just a thought. A whole series of thought, a complex series of thought we can plant into your head. But there are different ways of planting a thought. There are dark ways of doing it. There are straight ways of doing it. There are other ways of doing it where a thought is not planted. You are made to think in a certain way, purely for your well-being. This needs to be done. Otherwise, you will just scatter yourself all over the place and spend your life without any purpose, without getting anywhere. The dark ways of doing it involves various dark arts through which they will plant negative thoughts in your head, where you will work for your own destruction. The straight ways of doing it or the school teacher's way, they're trying to tell you this is better, this is better, this is better, constantly. Or the marketing manager's way, the Coca-Cola, the real thing, the real thing, the real thing, the real thing. Now you say the real thing. If I say the real thing, you'll say Coke. Everywhere it's written around the world, real thing. So, that is just by repetition. It's straight. If you want, you can reject it. With the first one, if you're vulnerable in some way, you have no choice. It will anyway enter your life. The last way of doing it will happen only if you're willing, open and receptive. Otherwise, that person who does the last way of putting thoughts into you is not even interested in doing such things. Only if you are willing, open and you want to go in a certain way, but you do not have the necessary grit to hold on to something that you need to do, then a thought can be implanted in you in a different way. So, if you're talking about negative thoughts being implanted into you, all you have to do is bring some simple meditation or something where your system gets organized in such a way that these things cannot affect you. Or you must carry something with you which will create a certain cocoon of energies around you where these things cannot affect you. There are various ways of preventing somebody else influencing your thought. So, I am also willing to plant a thought in you, more than a thought in you. I can plant an explosive in you if you want. Not a bomb, an explosive. You know, there's a difference. Bomb is purely destructive. An explosive can be used in so many ways, isn't it? If you want, I can plant an explosive. Why just a thought? If you simply say boom, it goes. I can plant an explosive of ecstasy if you want. If you simply close your eyes, lots of people, if they just close their eyes, their eyeballs will go pop. Why just a thought? Thought is a rudimentary thing, very surface thing. We can plant energy into you in such a way that it guides your life wherever you are, whatever you may be. There are better technologies than thoughts. Your fear, your anger, all these are products of a mind which you have not taken charge of. Your mind is capable of producing joy, your mind is capable of producing fear, your mind is capable of producing anxiety, turmoil, tranquility, agony, ecstasy. It can produce anything. It is producing things that you do not want, simply because you do not know how to handle it. There is no need for anybody to handle their fear, their anger, their whatever. Nor is there any need for anybody to seek happiness or peace or joy or blissfulness. There is no need. All you have to do is, you have to spend some time, you have to do certain sadhana to find out where the keyboard is for this fantastic computer that is loaded on your head. You don't know where the keyboard is, so you're punching all the wrong numbers. So all kinds of things have happened. So either you can make this mind into a miracle, or you can make this mind into a misery manufacturing machine. So the misery in the form of anger, fear, you don't have to do anything about it. You just have to stop the production line, you know, not the product. You just have to stop the production line and start a different product. You must see that joy is coming out of it, bliss is coming out of it, because the same mind is capable of that also. Sometimes you're joyful, sometimes. A young man like this. So it is capable of joy also. So you just have to… J is always here. You know the computer? That's where it is. If you do like this, like this, like this, misery, misery, misery. You should know how to keep your hands off the keyboard and just punch what you want. Now, unawares, you don't even know where it is, it's punching. If you can't think properly, that's not where it is. Wrong buttons. So, there is sadhana to take charge of your body, to take charge of your mind, to take charge of your energies, to take charge of everything that you are. Rather than taking charge of it, you are wishing for a nice product. It will not happen like that. Life has never worked like that. Not for anybody. Never ever has anything worked for anybody by doing all the wrong things. Unless you do the right things do not happen to you at all. You need to understand this. Why your mind is going on with uncontrollable, endless thought is, you're identified with things that you're not. The moment you get identified with something that you are not, then mind is non-stop activity. You're identified with too many things and you're trying to stop your mind. I'm telling you, if you try for 1,000,000 years, it's not going to happen. It cannot happen. If you take away your wrong identifications, then you will see this moment, mind will be just like a mirror, not saying anything, just reflecting everything. That's how mind should be. Your mind as a mechanism works best only when there is clarity in it, isn't it? Isn't it so? Your mind is not here to think up all kinds of fancy things. That's a distraction in life. Your mind is here to give you clarity and penetration into life. But right now, mind is just a huge ball of confusion, simply because you got identified with so many things that you're not, and now you're trying to hold it back. There is no way to hold it back. You ate very bad food, now there's gas in the stomach. You can't hold it. You eaten bad food, the consequence is there. You got wrongly identified with too many things, now this is going on endlessly. You cannot stop it, it doesn't matter what you do. You think of God, God himself will go to take you to many places. Now you're sitting here and you're trying to meditate, but you're thinking of your bar or restaurant or friend or cinema or something. Now people told you, think about God, everything will be okay. If you think about Rama or Krishna, then you will find you will go to cinema with Rama. That's the nature of the mind. Rama himself will take you to the bar, Rama himself will take you to the restaurant. You can't stop it because you got yourself identified with things that you're not. No way to stop it. So what's being done here is not about controlling your mind, to bring an awareness as to what you're not. Right now, to start with, the most fundamental identity is your body. You're identified with your body, the clothes that you wear, your hairstyle, your goatee also, aren't you? Very much identified, isn't it? Your wife, your children, your family, your education, your religion, endless number of identifications. With all these identities, you want a quiet mind? There's no such thing. That's why we gave you a simple device called Shunya, where you create a little distance from the mind. Once distance happens, even if it's a noisy mind, still it doesn't matter. Disengaging from the mind. Once you're disengaged from the mind, you're disengaged from all identity, because it's the mind which manufactures identifications, isn't it? So, don't think of all kinds of things, just employ the device. Things will happen. Things that you have not imagined will happen.